Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred. More likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. Do you have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel? If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Y'all solemnly swear affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Sandra Farron. Afternoon, Sandra. Date of birth?
1/27/83.
All right, Sandra, I got a number of warrants for you. I've got first one is signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently, you failed to appear in his court on 4 charges: 2 counts of possession of controlled substance, 1 count of felony driving on a suspended license, 1 count of drug paraphernalia. I have a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, you failed to appear there on a felony driving and a motor vehicle registration. I have a warrant signed by Judge Helis. She found probable cause for a felony petty theft. And I have a warrant signed by Judge Heinemann. He found probable cause for 4 counts. We have criminal use of personal identification, felony driving on a suspended license, providing false name, resisting without, and reckless driving. There's probable cause for all those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'm going to appoint the PD. On the first warrant, Judge Merritt has asked with detail that you be held without bond. So I'm going to do that. We'll have you back on the first case in front of Judge Merritt on January 7th. In the second one, which is Judge Toner's case, he had the same request, so I'll hold you without bond on that one. That one's back on January 15th. On the petty theft, the felony petty theft, I'll leave the bond at the $2,000. I'll send that one back on the 15th of January as well. And on the last case, Judge Heinemann's warrant, I'll leave the bonds per the warrants, which are $2,000, $1,000, $2,000, $1,000, and $1,000 respectively, for a total of $7,000. Those cases I'll send back to the 15th of January as well. You'll be back in court on both the 7th and 15th of January, and the public defender will come see you at the jail before you go back to court on either date, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Brittany Joannis. Afternoon, Brittany. Date of birth?
27/92.
Brittany, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change it. I'll have you back in front of him January 15th. PD will come see you before that. All right, Brittany?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Caleb Byer. Afternoon again, Caleb. Date of birth?
2/23/91.
All right, Caleb, they found 2 more warrants for VOPs, both signed by Judge Merritt, and then a new charge for possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause all the way around. Did we appoint the PD the other day?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'll appoint the PD on these as well. The bond on the Judge Merritt warrants, of course, is no bond. Those will go back to court on January 7th. And then on the paraphernalia, I'll leave the bond at $1,000. That's actually coming back on January 15th. But the PD will come see you before you go to court, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. David Corder. Afternoon, David. What's your date of birth?
2281.
All right, David, you're actually here on a writ of bodily attachment. That means a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $1,177. Do you have that much money available, David?
No, sir. I'm homeless and unemployed. I've saved up $50 is what I got saved up out there.
Okay. Are you working? How long has it been since you worked?
It's been a long time. I mean, it's hard to get a job without a license, which was suspended by child support 5 years ago.
Okay.
Ever since then, I've just had trouble getting a job, getting on the road.
Right. All right, so David, what I'll do is find your contempt for the failure to pay child support. The sanction for that contempt will be 10 days in the county jail or until you pay $20 cash. So if you can get $20 there, you can get out of jail. That doesn't solve this problem, David. You still need to get to child support enforcement, let them know what's going on. Otherwise, this will happen over again, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Dwayne Gomes.
Yes, sir.
Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/10/76.
All right. Dwayne, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Barbie. He found probable cause for 6 counts: possession of heroin with intent, sale of heroin, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, possession of a conveyance or a place to sell a controlled substance, driving on a suspended license, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges then. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
A public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD. State what you got.
Yes, sir. He's got 2 adjudications for contempt of court in 2011, adjudication 2011 for introduction or possession of contraband in detention center, adjudications in 2011 for regular conveyance and battery, and adjudication 2011 for regular dwelling, grand theft, and it looks like all those kind of resolved in the same day. Adjudication 2010 for trespass to occupied structure and conveyance. It had dropped escape case in 2009. Adjudications in 2007 for grand theft, 2 counts of fraud, another count of grand theft, and Willis, habitual traffic offender. Adjudication 2006 for petty theft, and adjudication 2006 for resisting without, adjudication 2007, Willis, habitual traffic offender. Null pros 2007 for grand theft, and adjudication 2005 for criminal mischief.
Okay, that's good. Dwayne, I've got an address for you on Powell Road. Is that where you live now?
Excuse me, sir?
Powell Road. You live on Powell Road.
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
I've been there about almost a year.
Okay. And Dwayne, he was reading me a bunch of charges that nothing since 2011. Did you go to prison in 2011?
Yes, sir.
When did you get out?
2017.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Cutting grass, lawn maintenance.
Okay. All right, on the first 2, which are the possession of heroin with intent and sale of heroin, I'll leave those at $5,000. On the two-way communication device, the possession of a structure or place, and the driving on a suspended, I'll set those at $2,000 each. And on the paraphernalia, $1,000. That's going to be a total of $17,000. If my math is any good. You'll be back in court on those on the 15th of January. If you get out, it's very important that you contact the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Lawrence Hanna. Afternoon,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
What's your date of birth?
9/24/1992, sir.
Lawrence, I got 2 warrants today. They're both signed by Judge Barbie. In each case, he found probable cause for a sale of crack cocaine within 1,000 feet of a place of worship and possession with intent to sell crack cocaine within 1,000 feet of a place of worship. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A PD, sir.
I'm going to appoint the public defender. And it looks like Mr. Hanna has an open case in front of Judge Sheelis. Is that
Yes,
right?
Your Honor, it is an open battery case, so at this time we'd be requesting an RCO.
Okay. And Lawrence, I have an address for you on Ellington Ave in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Sir, yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Been there now for 2 years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, under the table washing cars, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, for today, Lawrence, we're going to leave the bonds on these per the warrants, which is a total of $40,000. These are coming back on January 15th. The reason we're doing that is because the timeline on these is that you picked up these charges while you had pending charges, misdemeanor charges. Job number 1 when you have pending criminal charges is don't pick up new charges. It appears that you have. Therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm revoking your pretrial release on the misdemeanor cases. So we're going to hold you without bond at least until the 16th of January. That's when those misdemeanors come back. When you get back to misdemeanor court, Judge Hewis can revisit the bond issue if she wants, or you can resolve those cases. If you resolve those cases, then you'd be free to bond out.
What sir? Do I have a bond, sir?
Go ahead.
I don't have no bond?
I know I revoked your bond on the misdemeanor, so you're going to be in jail until the 16th of January anyway. You'd have a chance to get out after that. Thank you. Joshua Ingram. Joshua, what's your date of birth?
12/15/1982.
Joshua, I have a warrant for you out of Hillsborough County. The original charge looks like it's driving on a suspended license. The judge, for failing to appear on that, the judge that issued that warrant set a bond of $5,000. I can't change that. If you're able to post that bond, you can go down to Tampa and find out when they want you back in court. If you can't post it, I'll give them 5 days to come pick you up. If for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is. All right?
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Trey Jackson. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth? Don Trey, do you know your date of birth? Okay. There's 2 charges today. Burglary of a dwelling with a battery, resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. John Trey, you're going to represent yourself. You want private counsel? Are you going to hire a private counsel? Would you like the public defender? All right, I'll appoint the public defender. Leave the bonds per the schedule. Since you're not participating at $25,000 and $1,000, that's a total of $26,000. You'll be back in court on the 15th of January. Thank you. Barry Kirby. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
4th of July, 1969.
All right, Barry, you got a charge of DUI with property damage. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State your
Right.
name.
I'm not seeing any issue on it.
And Barry, I've got an address for you in Hernando, Florida. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long you been
City
there?
of Hernando, not the city of Hernando.
Nope, right, I got you.
County.
Citrus County. I got you.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I've been there for just a little less than 2 years.
All right. You have a job these days?
I do not. I've been seeking help and counsel through the Veterans Affairs.
Okay. All right, Barry, I'm going to set your bond at $500. I'll have you back in court on January 15th. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. Javante King.
Judge, I'm sorry, I missed Mr. Kirby's court date.
115.
Thank you.
Yep. Welcome, Steve. Mr. King. What's your date of birth? I'm doing good.
1992.
All right, Mr. King, this is a warrant signed by Judge Toner for failing to appear on battery on a pregnant female.
Your Honor, the victim is present. I just wanted you to be aware.
Okay.
Just be aware.
Okay, and she just wanted to see what happens.
Judge, she indicated to me that she wanted to see if the case could be resolved today. I explained that couldn't happen. However, it is a Judge Toner case. I wonder if we could put it on the earliest possible Judge Toner docket.
That's what I was going to ask for. Is there something prior to the 15th, Rebecca? Did you have, Javante, did you have a public defender on this case?
I did have a public defender, but I am not aware about a court date that I missed.
Okay, the warrant says you were supposed to be there on Wednesday.
I have no recollection of a court date, and that's what I called my attorney. My attorney said he didn't see nothing or my bells behind them.
Okay. What time?
1:30.
Well, Javante, I sure don't know. I know I got a circuit judge that put you at no bond. I'm going to do that. I'm going to move you up to the 30th of December, so you'll be in court next week. Next week? 2 weeks. A week and a half. So that you can get it all sorted out. The public defender is going to come see you before the 30th of December, so they can try to figure out what went on here. But since he set your warrant at no bond, I'm going to leave it there, and you'll be back on December 30th, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, what time is that?
1:30.
1:30.
Yep. And Dwayne Loudermilk. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
12 February 1965.
All right, Dwayne, this is the charge of driving under the influence. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD state.
All I'm showing is a withhold in 94 for trespass. I don't see anything else. I was not provided any on state history, though, so.
And so, Dwayne, got an address on Notting Shade Drive. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
Just over a year there.
All right. You got a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Work at UPS.
Oh, okay. Set your bond at $500. I'll have you back on the 15th of January. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Joe.